Okay, hello, hi, welcome to another session, another live streaming session about WordPress development. So, as you know, or some of you know, I'm streaming every Friday at around this hour about WordPress development, and as you can see, I'm here in a special place because I'm in a co-working because I just moved to a new place, and the fiber connection is going to take some time to be installed at my house. So yeah, I need to improvise. And yeah, I think that this place is good enough for the streamings. Let me know if there's something that doesn't work, if the sound is not good or something. But yeah, last stream I already did it here, and I think it worked well enough. So today I want to focus the session on unit testings in PHP with PHPUnit. And what I would like to cover today is how to set up a repository to execute, to trigger, to launch the unit testings in PHP. And we will focus on the WP-ENV approach, which works with Docker. And then we will also create some tests and explain a few things about testing, like TDD, or how to implement a workflow for continuous integration. So every time, for example, we push a pull request, we get all the testings triggered. So yeah, these are the things that I plan to do today, and yeah, hope we have time for everything. I'm going to share my screen because there are a few things I would like to comment before we start. Some news that have happened in the WordPress ecosystem, more specifically in the WordPress Playground ecosystem. So let me share my screen. Okay, so what I would like to comment is okay, where did I share this? Here. Yeah. So before we start, let me comment these few things. Also, if you are in the chat, you are over there, just say hi, and also share from where you are connected, which is always interesting. I think the sound, the background maybe is a bit high. Okay, I'm going to, yeah, I think this is better. Okay, I want to comment two things today before we dive in the unit testings in PHP. First thing is that playground.wordpress.net, which is the online instance of WordPress Playground. Now when you enter, it has like a demo content that is more self-explanatory than what there was before. And yeah, as you can see, you can get here hello from WordPress Playground, and it explains a little bit that Playground is a technology that allows to launch or to have a WordPress installation running directly in the browser, so you don't need a PHP server. And there is a very good introduction in video format, and then some interesting links. So yeah, this is one of the things I would like to share, because I think it's an improvement, and this will help to adopt. This will help with the adoption of this, I think. I don't know if you are all familiar with WordPress Playground, but in case you are not, this is a good starting point. Playground.wordpress.net. Also, if you add docs, you will get redirected to the docs, and there's also official WordPress Playground. I think it has like a proper landing page under WordPress.org. So yeah, lots of places to start with this. I invite you to check this out if you didn't know about this technology. So yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to comment. Second thing, the Playground team has created a new tool that uses the same technology that is behind WordPress Playground to run like a PHP, how is it called? REPL. Well, the thing is that you can launch PHP directly in the browser. So this is really good to quickly test things, test PHP code. And also a really cool thing is that you can test WordPress code. Now you have access here to different versions of WordPress, and you have access to all the functions that are in WordPress. So yeah, this is a really good way to test something quickly and to try to check the output of specific functions in WordPress, for example. Also to compare the output in different versions. Here you have a little example of using the HTML processor, the HTML API, to check a specific HTML code, but you can check anything you want. So yeah, I think this is really cool, so I also wanted to share this. Another cool thing is that, for example, if you add more things, I don't know if it can be seen here, echo hello from the stream, and we run this, and we can also add a beer, and we can run this. Okay, so the cool thing is that if we copy and paste this, yeah, you can see that the URL changes every time you change the code, so you can directly, I'm going to share this in the chat, just so you have it as an example. And I'm also going to share the previous page that contains the new demo content that I think is more helpful now. Okay, so these are the two things I wanted to comment. Now let's get into PHP tests with PHPUnit. I have several links we can check here. I have some notes here, but I think a good place to start, as you know, I don't have much prepared. There is no specific agenda. I only have some ideas that I want to comment, so feel free to suggest things. So if we have this automated testing PHPUnit, which is the official documentation, and what we can do, I think what we can do is we can scaffold a plugin using the WP-CLI, and from there we can implement WP-ENV to run those tests and see what happens. So let's start from there. Let's open the terminal. I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to go to projects. Okay, and here there is there is a WP-CLI has this scaffold tool. Okay, I'm going to let me I'm going to change the name of this and try to make it more easy to read. So my awesome plugin test, if I do this, I can okay. Okay, this doesn't seem to be okay. Yeah, because I need to do this in a WordPress installation. So what we're going to do is, okay, I'm going to open Studio, WordPress Studio, where I have here like several WordPress installations, and from here I'm going to go to the terminal, and here I can go to the WP content plugins, and here is where we can do what we were trying to do earlier. In fact, I think that I have already done this, so let me check my awesome plugin. Yeah, so I'm going to remove my awesome plugin, and I'm going to run this again. Yeah, too many positional arguments. Yeah, because this. Okay. And now what we can do is to go to Studio again, and we can open this in Cursor. And here in plugins, we have my awesome plugin. Nice. What we can do is to, what I'm going to do is to actually I'm going to open this in the terminal. I'm going to open WP content plugins, my awesome plugin. I'm going just to work here because, so this is part of WordPress installation in a Studio, but I want to work on this as if I were working on an isolated plugin, and maybe we can create a specific repository for this plugin. So this the code of this plugin is going to be completely isolated from the rest of the WordPress installation. Okay, so let's check what we have here. We have PHPUnit, which is the file, the configuration file of PHPUnit. When we run PHPUnit, this is the file that is going to be executed, and from here is going to look for whatever we define here in the test suite. So files with PHP extension and with the prefix test hyphen, which is the test example that is here. And then we have test bootstrap, which is this file here. This file is executed every time we run the tests, and some of the things that it does is check that we have some files available. So the thing is that we don't have these files, we don't have a PHPUnit installed, and we don't have a lot of things, but we will have them with WP-ENV. Okay, so we need to first run WP-ENV to run this plugin inside of a WordPress installation. So let's do that. So the first thing I have to do here is to install WPM as a development dependency here. There is no package JSON here, but I think this will create one. Nice, with just this. So this will install WPM locally, and what we can do, I think if I run, let me check, if I run npx, WPM start, I think it will start a WordPress installation with this plugin installed. I'm not sure if I think it's automatically detected. If not, there is a WPM config that we can add to specify that, but let's try this to see what happens. Okay, could not connect to Docker, so we need to open Docker and okay, so now we have Docker here running, and now if we run again WPM start, okay, so it says could not find WP-ENV JSON configuration and could not determine if this is a WordPress installation, a plugin, or a theme. So yeah, it's not detecting that, so we need to create a WP-ENV JSON file. So what we need to do here is to create a WP-ENV JSON file. That can be something like this. I'm going to simplify this. In fact, to start with, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to stop this, and now I'm going to run again npx WPM start. Let's review in the meantime WPM and all the things that we can do with WPM. So here we have in the block editor handbook the documentation about this this tool. We can install it globally, which will allow to launch WPM on every project without the need of installing any local dependency. But I think it's a good practice to install it as a local dependency of the project, so every developer can very quickly leverage this this package as well. Like for example here, npm e WordPress -save deb, like here. Okay, so now we have here our WordPress instance, and we can see this admin password. If you check the documentation, you will find these credentials, and yeah, we can see here that we have our plugin installed. All of that because we have added this WP-ENV JSON. So here we can specify different plugins. Imagine this WPM is not in the plugins folder, but is in the WordPress code folder, in the WordPress installation folder. We're gonna specify which plugins we want to load in the WordPress instance that is in Docker. So for just one plugin is fine. Also, we can add here some other plugins, like for example Gutenberg. Gutenberg, I think we need to add this WordPress Gutenberg. So let's try this. And what we can do is WP-ENV update. Update. Let me check. The documentation is update. Yeah. So if we change something from the configuration, what we can do is like refresh. Let me just. So here npm run npx start -- update. I think it's this. Yeah, there is a difference. Okay, here is using 2 hyphens because WP-ENV is a script, and to pass arguments to a script we need to use the double hyphen. We use hyphen to indicate that we are going to pass a flag. Okay, so this is being updated with this change. In theory, it will update the WordPress instance in Docker with 2 plugins, the one that is in the current folder and WordPress Gutenberg. Let's see. So we are testing WP-ENV to see how this works. Where were we? Here. Okay, see, as you can see, it's downloading WordPress Gutenberg plugin, and now it will start WordPress, and it will show us the links to access the WordPress configuration, the WordPress installation. So let's go here. If we go to WP admin, we go to plugins, yeah, we can see Gutenberg, and we can see my awesome plugin. Okay, nice. Now, next step. Here we have the configuration of PHPUnit. Here we have, what else? The bootstrap file, and we have a test sample. And we don't have anything else. So how do we launch this test? So we need to install PHPUnit. And if we go to, let's check more info about PHPUnit. PHPUnit, the PHP testing framework. Okay, is there any introduction here? Documentation. Here there is for versions that are supported. Isn't there any generic introduction? Contributing to PHPUnit. Okay, let's see the README MD. Okay, this is about contributing. Okay, so no generic information. Nice. So what we need to do is to install the framework, the testing framework, and we can do that with Composer. So if we come here in this repository, we have a composer.json, that doesn't have anything special, we are going to add this package, and as you can see, it's going to install PHPUnit and a lot of things, and all these things are will be in vendor. And we are also going to install some polyfills that are recommended. So we have these two packages. So in any project, we need to make sure that our composer.json includes these two packages. Then PHPUnit, when we run this, it will first execute the PHPUnit XML. I think .dist is going to take it as well, but I'm going to first, okay, let me copy this and let's add, yeah, then we will try this, but this works for sure. This is the configuration file for the tests. It has some configuration parameters. The most important ones are bootstrap, which is the code we want to execute on every execution of the tests, and this points to this file bootstrap, which this code does several things. First, we check if there is a environment variable named WP-TestsDir. So we need to have this environment variable, but this variable is already defined in with WPM. So as we are going to launch these tests inside our WordPress installation that is in Docker, in WPM, we will get access to this. This testdir, it will point to, let me change this for another code that I have here. So I'm going to create another bootstrap. Yeah. So this environment variable internally in the container, it will point to this folder. So this will work, but if not, there is a fallback for non-WPM environments. Then we need to check that in that environment, inside the container, there is the code that contains all the PHPUnit code. Like, for example, includes functions, and there was another one, includes bootstrap, for example. And this will ensure that when we run the tests, we have all the functions available in our test. For example, here, it will make sure that we have this WP-Unit test case. We need to load this code here in order to have the tools and utilities in the unit tests. Okay, so this is a code. For now, we are going to have some faith that this is going to work. So we have the PHPUnit that points to the test bootstrap file, which is this one, and here is going to do some check-ins before running the test. Okay, so we have the most important things in place. Now what we can do is I'm going to do some diagrams later. That's looking really good. Hey, David, good to see you. How you doing? Where are you? Are you in Barcelona still? I'm doing streams every week, and 1 week I do the stream in Spanish, and the other week it's in English. So yeah, today we need to speak in English. Okay, so I will continue with this. Oh yeah, I see that you sent the message like some time ago. So we have the PHPUnit XML, which points to the test bootstrap PHP, which is here. And then what we can do is first into npx WP-ENV status. We can check Docker, and well, I also have this here, which is the Docker dashboard, and here we can see that WP-ENV has opened like all these different servers. It has WordPress 1, then MySQL, the MySQL server. So it runs. I think this is information that we got when we launch. Let's go. So if I run okay, so we have a WordPress development site, but we have another one for test. This is used for continuous integration. I think that we can run the local tests here, and we have different databases, one for local development, but another one for continuous integration, and each one of them run in different ports. Okay, so let's continue with the. Now what we need to do is to, for example, I'm going to add here some notes, and WP-ENV plugins, and well, the PHPUnit code is actually here in Vim PHPUnit. So what we're going to do is we are going to run tests CLI, which is, okay, if we go to the Docker installation, which is here, we have a tests CLI. I think it has one because there is another instance, or maybe because we updated it. Let's see if we can get the CLI. So what we can do here is npx WP-ENV destroy. This will destroy the current WordPress installation. This is a good way to start from scratch. we start getting errors in the Docker installation, in the Docker version of WordPress, we can start from scratch with destroy, npx wp-env destroy, and then we can just start again with npx wp-env start. If we go to Docker, we will see that there is no WordPress instance anymore, but it will be created. It will be created when we run wp-env start. So yeah, it's very easy to remove all the installation and start from scratch, as long as we have the proper configs and everything. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, it's MySQL one. Yeah, it generates several servers inside the container, the MySQL one, and I'm going to remove this Gutenberg because I don't really need this. The composer JSON, no, in the WP-ENV JSON, this was to show that we can install more plugins. So for the next time, we don't need to download it. So what we can do now is to execute commands in the different servers. In order to do that, we need to specify which environment, and we have the WP-CLI installed here in tests CLI. So here we can specify so when we run, well, let's read this. So for ease of use, Composer, PHPUnit, and WP-CLI are available in the environment. To run these executables, use WP-env run, the environment, the tool, and the command. For example, WP-env run CLI composer install, or WP-env run tests CLI PHPUnit. So for example, we can do, let's try this. WP-env run CLI bash, and we have access to the bash, and here we can see, do we have the tree? Okay, yeah, too much. Maybe what I can do is tree, okay, tree Unix command. I want to say that levels, yeah, 3, 2. Level. Error opening dir. Well, here's our WordPress installation. You can also access various shells like WP-env run CLI bash, or we can launch this, which opens a shell of the WordPress installation. So how was this? Get blog info. blocking for name, blocking for description, blocking for version. Yeah, for example, we can check the WordPress version because we are running the shell of WordPress, which is very handy. And then for the WP CLI and WordPress, they share a database and math volumes, but more tools are available in the CLI environment. You should use the tests CLI and tests WordPress environments for a separate testing database. By default, the CWD, so the folder where the tool is executed, the CWD of the run command is the root of the WordPress install. If you are working on a plugin, you likely need to pass CWD to make sure Composer PHPUnit commands are executed relative to the plugin you are working on. For example, WP run CLI blah 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 Composer install. Okay. So what we can do is bash, and then we can check inside the Docker instance. We can check if we have access to all these files. So we can do content plugins, and yeah, we have here access to everything, so we can run things inside this. And what we can do is this. In my awesome plugin, we can run this. So let's exit, clear, and we are going to run this. So we are going to run the CLI. We are going to run a command test CLI in this. So we are going to run this tool in this folder that is inside of the Docker container. In this container is the right word, environment. And these are the environments that we have here in Docker. So we have test CLI is one of them. Okay, so let's see. And we have here an error. Okay, so something no tests executed. Running as single site, run multi-site, use that, not running Ajax tests. So this should have run this test sample. So this should have run these tests. Okay, so let's add Okay, let me see. We have a request. I don't know. Goku Sand. It says that okay, Goku-san, let me know in the chat if you have any questions. So, let's see what happens here. We are running this. My awesome plugin, and let me see, PHPUnit, it runs this. Okay, let's add another function just to see the sample 2. These are true. Okay, no tests executed. Why there are no tests executed? If we go to PHPUnit, we have the test sample. Is running test bootstrap. Is loading the plugin. Is loading the plugin. Okay, let's ask for help. Let's see if I'm going to try GPT-5. Okay, so I'm trying to run this demo test inside of a Docker container using WP-ENV. It seems the tests are not being executed. Do you have any idea why? Okay, so the command used to I'll quickly inspect your PHPUnit config, which is this one, to see why no tests are being discovered, then also use the minimal fix and rerun the tests. So yeah, what it's doing is checking all the code here and seeing if there's something wrong. Is this working? Let me see. Yeah, it's working well. Run. Because there was a initialize repository here. Okay, let's initialize a repository here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay, let's do one thing. I'm going to move this code to the streams folder. So my awesome plugin, I'm going to okay, first. Okay, so what I want to do is I have this streams repository, and in this streams repository I have all the projects that I work on the streams. So what I want to do is to move this plugin here. Okay, but first, before doing that, I want to check. I think it was just that there was your PHPUnit XML, PHPUnit XML. Okay, so it was specifically excluding this test sample. So I'm going to undo this test sample. Just doing this with this. Yeah. So now it works. So it was just that everything was working okay. So now we can continue, and maybe we can do some diagrams to explain this a bit more. What I want to do is I'm going to first npx.wp-env destroy. Destroy, and when I'm sure, yes, I'm very sure of that. Second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move this my awesome plugin to my awesome plugin tests inside of the streams repository, so then I can upload this directory. Okay, now I'm going to go here, clear, and I'm going to move my awesome plugin. I'm going to move it to my home folder, projects 2025, streams, projects, and I'm going to rename it to my awesome plugin with tests. Nice. Now what I'm going to do is I don't have my awesome plugin here anymore, but what I'm going to do is to add a symlink to from projects 2025 streams projects my awesome plugin with tests, and I'm going to my awesome plugin with tests here. So now I have the repository somewhere else, but I should be able to use this here. Okay, nice. What else? Now what we can do is to come here and do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a batch of scripts. If we go here to, okay, this is not working anymore. So now what I have to do is I need to go to projects 2025 streams projects, my awesome plugin with tests, and then I can open this with cursor. And then here what I can do is the package.json, which is here. I'm going to add all these scripts, and I'm going to ask fill more popular fields. I'm going to ask cursor to fill some more files, like maybe the name of the project, maybe the author, whatever, just to have some, like, a nicer structure. But what we have here is we have WPM installed as a dependency, and now we have all these scripts that we can use to launch the different things. For example, we can start, we can stop, we can clean, and we can launch the unit. Instead of doing all of this, we can do this. We can just run npm run test unit. I need to change the name of the folder, which will be the name of the folder. I guess that it will be, yeah, I think this is nicer. Good. I like it. I like it. So what I need to change here is this, my awesome plugin with tests. This should work. Now what I can do is npm run start, and now it will open the Docker instance using the WP-ENV JSON, which is this plugin. I'm not sure about the name. I think it will take the name of this folder. So yeah, we can check that when the WordPress instance is launched in the Docker instance. We can open the shell and see the name of the folder that have used to locate this this plugin, the code of this plugin. Okay, I'm going to go for water. Okay, this has finished. Yep. And what we can do now is let's open the bash. What was this? WP-ENV room CLI shell CLI bash. We can go to WP content. Here we're inspecting my awesome plugin with tests. So it's taking the current folder name. Nice. So this code will work. Now what we are doing here is we are specifying. If we go to my awesome plugin with tests and we are specifying that we want everything to run from this folder, and from this folder we are actually executing this executable, and we can specify different things, but the test all will run all the tests. So I think that we can just exit here, and from here we can do npm run test all. So yeah, now we have everything we need to run the tests locally. And what we can do is to now check some code. I have some examples here prepared. So so let me see if I can get some examples here. I'm going to ask Cursor to create some examples here. Okay. Yes. Proceed. Okay. Okay. You know what? We are going to do one thing. We are going to WordPress.com blog, and we have here an article that I recently wrote. And here's the code of the plugin. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Only from here. Okay, here. And if we go to my awesome plugin, okay. So this is the code of our plugin now, and we also have this here, style CSS here, this. Okay, so this article, this I'm going to share this in the chat. Explains how to So it explains how to set up a local development environment with Studio, and then how to create a first plugin. Let me do like a quick overview of the plugin. So yeah, it explains that in order to generate a plugin, we need to add a folder in the plugins folder, then a PHP file with a specific header, and then we can start adding hooks. We have filters and we have actions, which are mentioned here. And this specific filter, it takes the for individual posts, whenever we are so it excludes specific situations, like whenever we are not in a post, whenever we are not in the loop, or whenever we are not in the main query, it just returns. And for the simple case of a post, it takes the post content, it strips shortcodes, it strips all tags, so it just takes the raw content, the inner content, and for that it counts the words that are in this content, and then it does an estimation of the speed of reading that text, and this is calculated here. And then it adds to the content an initial text, that is this one, that contains the reading time. So this snippet adds a reading time badge to post content using the content filter. This is the content filter. So every time there is content served, this filter is applied, it does some things, and it returns the filtered content, which is the original content plus some other stuff, or the original content modified. Exactly, this is what we explained. Nice. Then it loads some specific assets, and in order to do that, it uses the enqueue scripts action, and then the enqueue style function. The enqueue style function, it loads the style CSS, which is the file that we created here with some custom styles. And then, as an optional thing, this article explains how to add some settings. In order to do that, we have an action that is triggered when the dashboard has so it's initialized during the setting. So what we can do is register a specific setting to store a specific value in the database. And what we can store is this value, which is called QRT WPM. Okay. This code registers a plugin option. This is a value that is stored in the database. Then what we can do here is to register a settings page. This is the page that we will see in the dashboard to customize this value. So then we add a settings page. This will add a new option in the admin menu to access this form, and then whenever we have this QWERTY render settings page, which defines all the HTML that we will see in that page. And this will update. We have an option that we have registered here. the form, the action is then this code is using this this value here. Okay. So we have the form, and then the options PHP. It will get the value which is here with the ID QRT WPM. So whenever we submit this form, this value will be updated. And then we can modify our original filter, which was defined here, to use this value. So we need to get the option here. We provide a default value, and we convert it into an integer automatically, and then we get this value, and we update the calculations using this new value. This is like the speed. Okay, let's see if we go to cursor. Yeah, my awesome plugin with tests. We come here, we run this again to see the URLs, and if we come here, WP-admin password, yeah, and here we have the quick reading time, and for every post, whenever we go to, we have this with these styles. Okay, so this works. And now what we can do is to add some tests to this. So we don't have much time, so I'm going to ask cursor to add some tests, and then we can execute them. So take the code under and add some tests under. Okay, and then what we can do is to check the PHPUnit is something that we can upload. Is this ignored here? Yeah, I don't want this to be ignored. Okay, because this was this. Yeah, this is why. Okay, so this is the one that we want to distribute, but we can have some local. So I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to leave this. And in theory, if we go to, I'm going to terminate this. We can run these tests again. No test executed because this test sample is but if I do this, yeah, so these tests are working well. So we need to update test bootstrap. Okay, so in the meantime, let's review the PHPUnit XML dist. Where can we see some more options of this? Okay, so we have some tests here. PHP, okay. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a good battery of tests. Let's review them. So yeah, it's saying that the tests require access to the the sample. Okay, let's see what it has done. So it has created these tests. This one, okay, all of these. We will check them in a minute. Test bootstrap, there is no change to be done here, but because it already loads the current plugin. And in PHPUnit XML, which one? This one. This is going to execute all the tests in the tests folder, which follows this prefix, so that's fine. And then to run the tests, we have already all these scripts. So well, test integration, yeah, that's fine. I don't have right now a specific tests with test suite, so that's fine. In package.json scripts, fix the double slash to a single slash. Which one? Okay, I think we're fine. Good. So thank you very much. We're going to run the tests now by running npm run tests all, and let's see what happens. Okay, now what we can do is run a specific test. In order to do that, let me check the WPM documentation. Test single. Okay, so in order to launch a specific test, how can I do this? I think I can just pass the. So what we can do is okay, let's ask cursor how can I run a single test with PHPUnit? Because we have these tests all here. And we can filter. Exactly, this is what I wanted. So if we do this and this, and then test reading time, for example. Okay, so let's check. Class test reading time could not found in this is fine. We are creating tests that are extending this, and for example public function. Okay, so when we extend this class, we have access to different utils, for example, to create a post content. Then we can come here, class test, okay. I don't know from where this to execute this test, use group external. or class. We need to end the class name with test. Not running class test within time. Yeah. Okay, PHPUnit. PHPUnit classes should end with test. Okay, so what we can do, yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add this QWERTY. Maybe we can just end this here, and within time I'm going to also end here. And what I'm going to do is here, instead of using this prefix, I'm going to suffix test PHP. Okay, so in theory, we should just get this test executed for now. So let's see, npm run test all. Okay. Okay. So now the test is failing. We are just launching one test. What we can do, how can I quickly disable tests inside a test file? Yeah, because with jest there is like a character we can add to the function name, and what I want to do here is to just add a dummy function. This thing, group skip. So what we can do is this. We can do this and this, and we can clear testing. Test 3 assertions 1 skipped 2 okay but incomplete, skip or risky text. Okay, so now we are going to focus on this one and let's see what happens. Okay, so failed asserting that original content. So this test is failing. We are creating post content str repeat word. Okay, so is this generating the same word? Post ID. So str repeat, it generates. So this creates a post. I understand that str repeat the string to be repeated. Okay, so it creates a post with the word 400 times. Simulate main query on single post and run within the loop. So it goes to this place and query posts post ID and post type post content while have posts the post content apply filters the content original content only need the first post. Okay, I'm going to disable this one and I'm going to run this test. Okay, so okay, so it runs the tests. Now I want to be, there are some settings here that I'm pretty sure I can use to make this more yeah, more verbose. I think we can do this here, so whenever we launch the tests we see more info. Okay, let me ask. How can I see more details of the tests being executed? I want to see the ones that are failing and the ones that are passing. There must be a setting here. this under the root. So if we come here, yeah. Okay, this passes, but this doesn't. Okay, so it contains min rep, okay, so the content, so content here, apply filters the content original content, so we have this filter, okay, I don't understand this, so okay, so exactly, the plugin injects a reading time badge into the content on a single post main query. Exactly. So create a post, uses WordPress factory, this factory, which is available thanks to this class we are extending, and we are creating a post with 400 words, so reading time will be more than 0. Then we simulate main query. In order to do that, we go to the permalink, so the global main query and the loop are set as if on the front end. We go to the permalink, so we get a change on the loop and the main query. Then we access the this part I don't understand it. So while it have posts, the post, and I only need the first post. Okay, so let's ask directly why this is not working. I don't understand this part, this we are applying. Shouldn't this be original content? Is there a function that is defined? Well, any suggestions are welcome. We can pass. Yeah, I would like to leave this test clarified. We have created some more to understand the environment. Okay. Okay, so it says that is because of the plural, but I don't think this is the reason, because this doesn't pass as well. Okay, let's try this. So this is not passing. Okay, in the meantime, we can check that we can do this test. We can change this, and okay. Ensure no assets are included yet, so we do action include scripts. Okay, so if we run this, okay, so this is passing. Then the admin UI, we can also add this extension, and then what we can do is if I run this, okay, so one of the things we have when we extend this class is this setup, which this is run every time before any of the tests. So if we have several tests, this function will be executed every time. Okay, so yeah, this I need to spend more time checking these tests. But But well, yeah, the idea is that we can generate this code. Now with the help of AI, it's easier. Sometimes it requires some more testing. Okay, let's see if this has fixed the thing. Okay. This is some logs that have been added, and we can maybe update option, ensure default WPM is set. Okay, so okay, now these tests are passing. This pre-check the content. Where is this? Is this here? Find the folder. QRT debug. Okay, QRT debug true. Enable plugin debug logs during tests. Okay, because the test add some okay, this has been added here, so I don't want this here, I don't want this here, and I don't want this here. So now we can run the tests again. Okay, this is cleaner. And let's see if we can fix the other one, so we can do a quick review of them. What's happening here? Global submenu. Okay, settings page is not registered. Do action admin menu, and as we have admin menu, it should execute this. So global menu slag is options general. Is options general. And QWERTY settings. QWERTY settings, this is menu. Options menu slag is options general. Okay, so it's not found. The settings page is registered. Okay. Clear. If we run the tests, the error we get is QWERTY admin UI test. The settings page is registered. Argument 2 of as array must be an array or array access. So okay, so this must be an array and this is not an array. echo okay. Admin submenu structure is not admin submenu structure is not displayed here. Here. Okay, so this is empty, so this is not properly accessing this. So exactly, this is null, and that's why it's failing. So yeah, this is what's happening here. Admin menu or admin init. Well, let me see. Admin menu. Admin menu. Yeah, it was the admin menu. Okay. Okay, so in the tests, we may need to ensure that the role of administrator is set. Okay. I think it's because this error. Vale. Bueno. Okay, so I think that we are we can end the session here. Let's see if we can fix this. But yeah, the issue is that we are not accessing properly the submenu with this global variable. Maybe it's because we need to set the current user as the administrator. So I'm reading this. I'm noticing that the test had an initial error. We need asterisk array and set the admin user in setup, which should work. Okay, so in the setup, I don't think we need to create the role of administrator because it's already created. So, okay, I think I'm going to finish here the session. I'm going to upload this. I'm going to leave these tests as they are, and I will try to fix them later. And maybe I will do another video to finish these tests and to add more explanations. So yeah, I'm going to go back here. So yeah, this has been the session. I am no PHP pro developer, but I have more experience doing tests in JavaScript. So I wanted to explore this together. As you can see, we can run tests with WP-ENV and Docker, and then we can generate tests for the code. We can use the help of AI, but then we need to fine-tune. Doing tests is an art, and it requires some deep knowledge because we need to mock things and to really know how things go internally and how to emulate them. So it's an art. As you can see, it's not easy, but once you have them, it's really helpful to have them because you can refactor the code, and as long as the test pass, everything will be okay. So it's really a safety net. So yeah, I will try to finish these tests and to upload them to the streams repository, and yeah, see you in the next session. Happy to cover any of the ideas you have, and yeah, hope you are doing well and that you are having a great summer. So yeah, see you next week. Okay, bye.